What do camera lenses, glasses, virtual reality, lasers, and fiber internet have in common? Optics. Optics is the branch of physics that studies light and how it behaves when it interacts with different materials, like bending when it passes through water or bouncing off mirrors. It's all about understanding how we see the world and how we can manipulate light to do everything from focusing a telescope to making a laser light show. So buckle up, because we're diving into the history of optics, a tale of wild theories, serious breakthroughs, and a lot of confused scientists. Let's start with ancient Greece around 300 BC. This is when our boy Euclid, the geometry guy, decided he'd dabble in light too. He came up with this big idea: light travels in straight lines. A revolutionary moment. This is where geometrical optics comes in. Basically, it's the study of light as little rays that travel straight and bounce off mirrors. Thanks to Euclid, we now understand why your bathroom mirror doesn't turn you into a funhouse version of yourself every morning. But Euclid wasn't the only one with ideas. Enter Empedocles, who thought vision happened because our eyes shot out tiny beams like ancient laser pointers, scanning the world around us. Yeah, ancient Greeks thought we were walking around with little light beams coming out of our eyes. Now let's jump ahead to the 10th century, where optics starts getting a glow-up thanks to Ibn al-Haytham, or al-Haytham, if you want to sound fancy. This guy is basically the father of optics, and he was like, no guys, it's not laser eyes. Light actually enters the eyes, and that's how we see stuff. Mind-blowing, right? He wrote a whole 7-volume series called the Book of Optics, where he explained reflection, light bouncing off surfaces, and refraction, light bending when it moves between different materials. He even played around with the camera obscura, which is like a dark room with a tiny hole that projects an upside-down image on the wall. Yup, it's like the great-great-grandfather of your camera phone. Al-Haytham figured out that light travels in straight lines, and that when it hits different stuff, it bends or bounces. And just like that, optics got a lot less mystical and a lot more scientific. Fast forward a few centuries to Roger Bacon, an English philosopher in the 13th century who took Al-Haytham's work and ran with it. He's like, hey, if light bends through lenses, we could use those to correct vision. And thus the world was one step closer to those reading glasses your dad always loses. Bacon was onto something with lens optics, the study of how lenses can bend and focus light. Convex lenses thicker in the middle magnify things, while concave lenses thinner in the middle spread light out. Basically, lenses help you see small things up close or bring distant things into focus. Now, here's where things get spicy, the 17th century, with Isaac Newton and Christian Huygens. Newton's like, light is made up of tiny particles, little corpuscles, and Huygens is over here saying, no way. Light is a wave, like ripples on a pond. This was a scientific showdown, and it sparked some serious breakthroughs. Newton showed how prisms could break white light into rainbows, which is called dispersion. Huygens, meanwhile, explained how light waves can bend around corners and interfere with each other, like how two waves in water make a new pattern when they collide. Spoiler, they were both right. Kinda. Speaking of waves, in 1801, Thomas Young came along and pretty much dropped the mic with his double-slit experiment. He shined light through 2 narrow slits and saw these trippy patterns on the other side, bright and dark bands like some funky art. It was proof that light can act like a wave because those bands were interference patterns. Basically, when light waves overlap, they can either boost each other bright spots or cancel each other out dark spots. This totally messed with Newton's particle theory, but hey, science is all about challenging the big guys. But wait, there's more. Jump to the 20th century when Albert Einstein shows up and is like, what if light is both a particle and a wave? And everyone went, mind blown. This is called wave-particle duality, and it's a core part of quantum mechanics. Einstein used this concept to explain the photoelectric effect, where light knocks electrons off a metal surface. Turns out when light hits something just right, it acts like a particle or photon, but other times it behaves like a wave. Yeah, light is basically the original ambivert. Now we're heading into the 1960s, where things get seriously sci-fi with the invention of lasers. And yes, lasers are way cooler than their name. Light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. It's like all the photons decided to get in sync, forming a super focused beam of light. Thanks to quantum optics, which studies how light interacts with atoms and particles, lasers can do everything from cutting metal to fixing your eyesight, and of course, keeping your cat entertained for hours. Lasers weren't the only big deal in modern optics. Ever heard of fiber optics? These are super thin strands of glass that can carry light over crazy distances without losing much signal. They work thanks to total internal reflection, which means light keeps bouncing along the inside of the fiber like it's stuck in an endless hallway. fiber optics made long-distance phone calls, high-speed internet, and Netflix possible. Yeah, it's not all satellites up there. Most of the internet is actually zipping around the world through these glass cables. And of course, optics didn't stop there. Now we've got virtual reality headsets that use special lenses to trick your eyes into thinking you're swimming with dolphins or climbing Everest, all from your couch. And every time you open your smartphone camera, you're using tiny lenses to bend light just right, capturing that perfect sunset shot or 1,500 photos of your dog sleeping. The next time you use a laser pointer, put on your glasses, or stream a video, just remember, you're using centuries of mind-bending science that started with some ancient Greeks and their laser eye theories. Don't forget to shine a little love on that like button and subscribe for more brief dives into the weird and wonderful stuff around our globe. See you in the next video!